Jwst discovered a new galaxy that shocked everyone. Astrophysicists have found what they believe is the most distant galaxy seen so far using the James Webb Telescope. The greatest space telescope in the world keeps getting incredible results and setting new records. Perhaps the most current success happened just a week after it found the farthest galaxy we've seen before. Even though it hasn't been long since the James Webb Space Telescope was used for science, the famous Space Observatory has just cracked that record again by taking a picture of a red smudge of a galaxy that is thought to be 35 billion light-years distant. The James Webb Space Telescope is the strongest and biggest astronomical instrument ever put into space. It lets researchers see parts of the universe that had never been visible before the Webb. With its infrared instruments, the new telescope is much more sensitive than its predecessor, Hubble. Specifically made to look back in history, Webb's first deep field picture was taken in just a few hours, while the Hubble deep field took a week. Scientists think that the lengthier exposures will show even older and farther away galaxies. This will allow them to look back to the first galaxies and stars that appeared in the cosmos. People who study space put an article about Revelation on the preprint server Arxiv on July 26, 2022. The paper summarizes what was learned about the new galaxy, such as its name and how far it is from the farthest galaxy ever found. No one knows how long it will remain the most distant galaxy before the James Webb Space Telescope takes over another galaxy in a distant part of the space. We notice Webb's farthest galaxy is just a red smudge in first data. It's called Sears 93316, and it shows the galaxy as it was 235 million years after the Big Bang. Sears stands for Cosmic Evolution Early Release Science Survey. Researchers haven't clarified the discovery of this new, most distant galaxy so far, and the study on it is still not accepted for publication. Yet, even so, it is cracked. Astronomers at Glass Z13 think that the galaxy existed 400 million years after the Big Bang. Yet another temporary record set recently by Galaxy Glass. Researchers utilized telescopes and near-infrared camera to look into the past and see the first glimpses of our universe's earliest beginnings. This discovery is fascinating because it shows how powerful the telescope is. It has only been sending back the first ever set of information for a few weeks, relying on imaging data from a near-infrared camera. The analysis revealed that the recently found galaxy couldn't become an unobstructed, active galactic nucleus or a low-mass star, because the galaxy may only be 250 million years old. Astronomers want to figure out what happened to galaxies shortly after the Big Bang when the cosmos was still very new. This time is called the Dark Ages, a time before the existence of any stars. The finding of this galaxy moves the debate back to the period when we believe the first galaxies began to form. We found more galaxies in the earlier universe than computer simulations predicted. So there are still several uncertainties about exactly when and how the first stars and galaxies developed. But how could James Webb Space Telescope look back in time to see how stars and galaxies looked millions of years ago? People think that telescopes can't look into the past, and besides, well, it's certainly not easy. Light has a limited pace, so the furthest it reaches us, the further into the past it goes. If you place a telescope, such as the Webb, in the most distant part of the galaxy and then looked at Earth through it, you would see the light from our sun as it was millions of years ago. In a procedure known as Redshift, light from the farthest and earliest galaxies is extended as it travels through the expanding space-time. This happens because the light has to travel through space-time for millions of years. Scientists have posted a summary of their research results on July 26. They discovered that this recently found galaxy has an unmatched redshift of 16.7, which indicates that its light has indeed been almost 18 times redder than it would be if the expansion of the universe weren't moving the galaxies ahead. Redshift is a component of the Doppler effect. Researchers have used this impact to figure out how far away things are in the cosmos. A common way to explain the Doppler effect is to demonstrate how the pitch of a sound wave changes as a loud object moves toward you and then far away from you. For instance, the sound waves of an emergency vehicle or fire truck are called blue shift, whereas the sound waves of an item moving away from you are called redshift. This recent study on the galaxy set a new redshift history, which implies that researchers have evaluated the most far object in our cosmos. NASA scientists adjusted the telescope's mirrors and equipment 6 months after Webb's release so that they would be ready to take pictures. The first images were captured between May 23rd and May 25th. Their work was briefly stopped by a micrometeoroid stuck in the telescope, preventing it from moving forward. The effect broke a minor fraction of Webb's mirror in a way that can't be fixed, but it doesn't appear to have hurt the telescope's effectiveness because the first images it took were so amazing. Since July 12th, there have been a lot of exciting pictures of faraway things on the web. Surprisingly, the scientists who discovered the galaxy weren't even looking for the farthest galaxy ever seen. Instead, they were making a list of 55 initial galaxies, among which 44 had already been studied to see how vibrant they were at different times just after the Big Bang. With this test, they hope to learn something crucial about how the young universe has changed and to show that the galaxy is as old as its redshift indicates. Astrophysicists will use a method called spectroscopy to figure out how bright all of the galaxies the James Webb Space Telescope has discovered so far are across a variety of wavelengths. This device has small adjustable mirrors. They're either 0.1 mm long or 0.2 mm wide. This will only let light from the intended galaxies tune out background radiation so that astrophysicists can separate galaxy stars by color. This work will show how old the galaxies are, how big they are, how hot they are, and what chemicals they are made of. Scientists assume that hydrogen and helium are the most common traits in the first stars, which formed when gas clouds collapsed about 100 million years after the Big Bang. Because of how quickly Webb found things and how far back it could look, the later stars combined these lighter elements to make heavier ones like lead, oxygen, and carbon. It is unlikely that this will be the furthest most galaxy will discover. This telescope will probably break its own records a great deal more over the following months, and we absolutely cannot wait to see even more as the James Webb Telescope looks back to the beginning of our cosmos. Most likely, we'll give this title to Sears 93316. The James Webb Telescope can see galaxies with redshifts of more than 20 that happened less than 200 million years after the Big Bang. It will probably be challenging to locate these galaxies, but discovering this new galaxy gives us confidence that they could still be out there. The cosmic microwave background, the glow left over from the Big Bang, is the farthest thing ever seen. The light from the cosmic microwave background comes from about 400,000 years after the Big Bang. Over the decades, different instruments have been able to find this light. Most surprising is that the Planck satellite, launched in 2009, will be unable to look that far back, but it will be able to study the early stages of galaxy formation. As of now, that's all. Let us know what you think of this scientific breakthrough in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. See you in the next one, and with that, I'm out.